Good morning to all of you. Welcome to the free lecture series on electrical engineering. Here now we are going to start DC machine. In the first lecture, we are basically discussed about the construction of DC machine, especially the generator. So here in this window, you are just seeing like this a machine that is called the DC machine, where there are two or three important objectives that we have to learn. The first is that is called the significance of armature winding. This is called armature winding. Second, called this is the field magnets. This part is called basically the commutator. This is called commutator. How it works that we can learn in the after some time. This part is called brushes. This is called brushes, and this is basically the yaw, the conduction part. So in this lecture, we have to learn about how the DC generator works and how the conduction will be designed. This is called shaft. This is basically shaft. You can say it's shaft. This machine, and this is the magnet. And if this rotor is rotated by the external prime mover, then what will be the effect on this the machine that we have to learn. So conduction wise, the DC machine contains the five important parts. The first is the armature winding, second is the field winding or the field magnets, third is the commutator segments. This is the commutator segments like this, and the commutator segment touches the brushes, which is called brushes, which will the function is basically to collect the current. So first discuss one by one. Firstly, we are going to discuss the armature winding. So here we have seen that this is the armature winding is there, where these are the slots, and in the slots we are fitting the windings that is called armature winding. It's called slots. These are the slots where we have to fit the armature windings. The coil we have to put. So let us take a coil and just putting on this armature up to the end and come back from this side. So like this we have put the windings or we have put the conductors in the slot. We are taking a wire and just putting on these slots, going to the back side, and then it comes out. So we have seen that the wire should be placed like this fashion. This is the wire which is going toward the slot. This is the slot, and it is coming back from the another slot. It representing a coil. This is basically a coil like this fashion. So the coil is basically like this. It is the like this fashion. This is one slot and this is the another slot. So if we are connecting the large number of windings in these slots, then we can able to make the armature, and the windings are placed up to a certain fashion that we are calling as a lap winding or the wave winding, which we will discuss in the next classes. So in this lecture we are just focusing on the armature winding, and the armature is basically containing say wire which having a like this fashion, which is rectangular loop, which is also called rectangular shape. The wires are placed in a rectangular shape. Now this part is completed. This is the field winding. Now this is the commutator and brushes. We will discuss it after some time. So let us take a magnet is there like this fashion. And I think I have to draw it again for some sake of explanation of this fashion. This is the wire which is plot, which is the fitted in the which is rectangular like this fashion. Here I am taking only one loop or the one winding, and we can done the analysis on this winding, and that the thing that we have done in this winding is already same to the all the windings. Let us take this is the commutator segment. Like this version. This is the commutator segment. In between two segments, we have to fill with a mica insulation. And we have seen that the commutator segments are being connected to the two brushes like this version. And this is the DC load. This is the basic construction of this armature and the field. So in this we have seen that we are just taking the one slot, two slots with containing say one winding, two commutator segments and two brushes and the DC supply, north to south. So here we have taken a DC supply north to south, which will give a DC flux which is a constant flux like this fashion. And we discuss about DC generator. That means the mechanical energy. That means the mechanical energy changes to the electrical output. So if we are just rotating this armature by some external prime mover at a speed n, then this conductor A, which is the influence of north, and this is conductor A, and this is conductor A dash. So here I am assuming the coil is having two conductors, it is conductor A and conductor A dash. So if the constant, if we rotate the coil in a constant magnetic field, then we can say that this conductor A and this conductor A dash will experience a change in flux in it, because the coil is rotating by the external magnetic field. So there is a change in the flux in this conductor, and as a result, according to law of Faraday's law, we can say that E equals to minus n d phi upon dt. Here n equals to 1, E equals to minus n d phi upon dt. So that means if I rotate this coil in a constant magnetic field, then the conductor A and the conductor A dash which generates a induced EMF, it is called EA and EA dash. So we can say that the A and A dash will experience a induced EMF EA and EA dash because these are changing in a constant magnetic field. Since this section, this winding is connected to this point and it is rotated, so the thing is that the brushes will not move. Brushes can't move. It is remain fixed. It is basically touched the commutator segments from this section and from this section, and the section of this winding is movable, but the brushes will not move. But the objective of the brushes is to collect the armature current. So we can move forward that if a constant magnetic field, in a constant magnetic field the coil is rotating, then this conductors A, the coil having two conductors A and A dash, which generates say induced EMF EA and EA dash. Now we have to determine the direction of this induced EMF in the coil. So it's a thumb rule like this for generator. For generator, use Fleming right hand rule for generators, and for motors use Fleming left hand rule. So the rule shows that like this fashion. This is the rule. This direction of the thumb shows the force. This forefinger represents direction of the flux, and this shows the direction of the induced current. If we are applying this rule in this equation, in this condition, then we can say that the force in the conductor is basically upward and the conductor A dash is basically downward. In the direction of the flux, basically the forefinger like this fashion, this is forefinger, this is the thumb direction, and we can observe that direction of the current which is being produced in the conductor A is cross and A dash is dot. If we are using it, then we can easily calculate. So we can say that the conductor is entering in the current A, the A conductor, and the current is entering in the leaving in conductor A dash, like this. So by using a thumb rule, or we can use as the FRR, we can say that the conductor A is basically is having a observing A cross, and conductor A dash will observing A dot, which is A, and this is A dash in the half cycle. Okay, so by using the FRR, we can easily calculate, we can easily determine the direction of the induced current in the A and in the current A dash, conductor A dash. After half cycle, what will happen? Let us suppose this is current X, this is Y. Now, after during starting, so let us redraw the circuit again. This is the north, this is the magnets that we have learned. These are the two magnets, and the conductor is placed in this coil like this fashion. Conductor is placed. You see the commutator segments. These are the mica insulation, and the another coil is basically touching this point. These are the brushes we have learned, and this is the DC load. So we have learned that whenever this coil is located in a constant magnetic field, then this conductor A and this conductor A dash will experience a cross here, and it is dot here. So we can easily determine the direction of current by using the Fleming right hand, and we can say that the current is going in A dash, A like this fashion, and it is leaving A dash like this fashion. It is coming from this, and since there is a insulation between the segment X and segment Y, so the current will going towards these brushes and going towards the loop, which is plus, it is minus. So by changing the mechanical energy, we are generating the induced EMF in the coil, and as a result, since the load is connected, it generates the induced current which is moving towards the segment, and through the segment it is moved towards the load by using the brushes. This is load current I. Now what will happen to the after half cycle? After half cycle, we can say that this is the magnet which is fixed. It is called field winding or the field magnet. It is fixed. It remains stationary. It cannot move. And the conductor, like this fashion, it is moving. So after half cycle, we can say